think that sometimes I think people really do take those kinds of effects for granted, like certain, and it's not even just limited to the Transformers. Like, oh, look how they can transform, and like they can like do all the little gears and the details. I'm just saying things like pyrotechnics, and yes, I know Michael Bay is known for explosions, but I'm saying like whenever a Transformer, if you notice in that movie, whenever a Transformer like grabs a car and like flips it over and like pushes it out of the shot, it looks like he's really doing that. If you watch that movie, and anytime a Transformer kind of steps anywhere, it's like anytime he takes a step, you can hear like the thud against the ground, and you can feel the weight, like the weight of this giant machine just pressing on the ground, and it's like the T-Rex in Jurassic Park, and it's not quite that good, but it's good, and you can feel the weight of these things, and that is a very important thing to get across in a Transformers movie. So I will give them that they get that right.
Right, but I think Transformers is a perfect example of why I do not at all, if I'm rating a film or if I'm reviewing a film, I don't really factor in effects. Because frankly, I don't think the Transformers are there for 1 second.
Well,
not for 1 second. I'll say there are moments in the sequels, in both sequels, where I really don't believe they're there, but there are also moments that are much more effective. I can't think of a single moment where I really found that I believe they were there.
I did.
And I will also, and I don't, and by the way, I think that, because it's in effect, but I think it's more important is filmmaking. You look at Gravity, yes, it has amazing special effects, but why do I praise it? It's because of the filmmaking. And yes, Star Wars, the original Star Wars, yes, you have all the effects. When they update it, why did that offend people? Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the new effects look like. What it did is overshadow the filmmaking, because the filmmaking was so brilliant and the story was so well done that it didn't matter. Because 20 years later, we can go back and say, yes, it was cinema done right. And this, 20 years from now, when people look back from it, will they say, oh wow, look at those effects? They'll say, wow, look how ridiculous we were back then. Look, we've actually thought that was a good effect. They'll be saying that about Gravity one day. They'll probably be saying that about Gravity one day. Look how hard an effect that is. It's so great now we can do such different things.
Well, I think another really, and I think probably one of the final points that we definitely have to make is the action itself. The action in this movie is so poor, is so, all of it, close-ups, gear, like none of the Autobots really have that much color. Like, yeah, you got one or two, but the Decepticons all look the same. I can't tell who's who, and I've seen this movie several times.
I remember, jumping for film on it for a second, I mean, there's a scene, I remember you said, like, there was a close-up of Starscream's face, and you're like, is that Starscream?
No, you can't tell.
You can't tell.
Because they
close up of his face, you can't tell. Why?
So the action is so close up that you can't tell, and it literally looks like, and I'm totally going to steal this line from a different reviewer, but it looks like if you've ever seen, like, in a junkyard or something like that, when they pick up metal with the big magnet, and they pick it up and they roll that down a hill. That's all you're looking at. All this CGI just looks like it's just a big massive blur of cogs and gunmetal gray, and occasionally, if it's Optimus Prime or Bumblebee, red and blue or yellow, and that's all you're allowed to see. It has no emotional impact, not only just because there are no good characters in this movie, none. There are no good characters well developed at all, but the action in itself is boring and exhausting and loud and tiring. And for me at least, when an action movie can't deliver on action or characters, investment, soundtrack, anything, it's a failure.
Right, and now just before we
give our ratings.
Yeah, so now let's give our ratings. I guess I'll let you start since I began with this.
Okay. Personally, it's tough because, I think because it is very obvious that the actors are trying and that the effects are really, at least for me, they do hold up, and on a certain level there are scenes that are good enough. I'm going to give this, there are a few scenes that are effective, and I do like the opening scene. I'm going to give this movie a solid 3 out of 10. terrible movie and does not hold up to anything.
I
Honestly.
think I'm gonna give it maybe a higher 3, although Solid's a higher 3 out of 10. Actually, when I first saw it, I was really thinking 4. I thought about it for, but sometimes I just need to sleep on it. And no, it's terrible. It is. But you're right, Grayson. I mean, when an action movie can't deliver on action, it's an action movie. You have Michael Bay, and you have a plot that's literally can be described by a little kid bashing these toys together. I think I'm stealing that from another reviewer too.
Same reviewer.
And you can't even the same reviewer. And you can't even deliver on that action. It's just a failure, a complete failure. So yes, a 3.
Good.
Now, thank you.